Welcome back to today's report on Thursday, the 21st of April, with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Handtech Markets. Let's look at cable now. We've had this run higher, just slightly stopped in its tracks. Interestingly enough, this bearish candle came through yesterday around 144.10, which is an old pivot. It's not entirely accurate, but still 144.10 has been a pivot through this chart, and also underneath that resistance of 44.60 of the late March reaction high, also underneath the resistance pretty much bang on of the old downtrend channel, and interestingly enough, the RSI hitting basically 60 and rolling off again. So it's all these the signals that suggests that we're still playing this as a sell into strength market, but obviously the bulls are still hanging in there because you've got this this near term, or today's initial candle has been sort of fairly positive, 25 ticks up on the day. Interesting turnaround actually. UK retail sales came out worse than expected. Market was under pressure and fell to around about 43 figure, but bounced since then, and it's been a fairly strong bounce, 50 odd ticks. Can it sustain the move? Because basically you'd argue that that pivot line at 143.20 that I've been talking about, still has it been broken? You'd argue yes, but I'd still think it is still a factor at play, and I think if that is the case, then this reaction here suggests we're still sort of putting pressure on this old downtrend channel, or the bottom of that downtrend channel. So you need to be just still a little bit mindful that cable, although is up against quite a significant amount now of overhead resistance, several highs coming in just above sort of 44.10 up towards 44.60, 45 area. I think sort of giving that sort of 100 ticks worth of resistance overhead. Despite that, you've still got the bulls hanging in there. They're not going away quite yet. So just a very sort of the near-term outlook is relatively neutral to positive, but as I said, this recovery into the resistance band should theoretically, if this mindset is to continue, then that will be given as a chance to sell. But the bears are not getting control yet, and there is still an element of buying pressure coming through on cable, albeit not as strong as it had been sort of earlier part of this week. But still, it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts, because you've got the ECB meeting today, and that has a knock-on impact on the dollar, subsequently on cable. So this ECB is an impact on cable in a roundabout sort of way, but at the moment we're sort of relatively neutral to slightly positive, but just mindful of all this overhead resistance on cable. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later. Thank you.